So typically how we do it is we give a little bit of context around the project, some of the initial requirements, some of the challenges faced, and then naturally the results. And then the most exciting part is usually the visuals. People love visuals. It's such an important aspect of every project. And then this year we introduced a little bit of video just to give you a sense of the flow inside of the application and what that looks like. So we'll kick it off with the introduction. And I don't know, Jacques, should we start on that side and work it down, introduce yourself, the business, and we'll give these gents a chance?
Okay, 100%. Thanks, Jacques. So I'm Jacques Venter, engineer at Concera, company that's recently been 3 years old. And glad to be here on stage today and showcase the project that we did for Sibanye. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Right.
And I'm Spusiso Masego, the unit manager for control and instrumentation at Sibanye Stillwater. We've recently embarked on a journey of putting on Ignition, replacing some legacy systems at our Rustenburg operations. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yes, I'm Johan Lowe.
Does anybody not know Johan Lowe?
Maybe from a previous product. I was. But yes, I'm I'm a technical specialist at Sibanye. So this was quite a exciting journey. As Sibusiso said, I see it as a journey into the future. We are on the ship, and I don't think we're staying behind.
Fantastic. Nice introduction. All right, so to give an overview of the project, the requirements around, I know ASM, or abnormal situation management, was a big aspect, a big part of it. Who wants to talk us through the overview?
Okay, so the big adoption there at Sibanye is to adopt the abnormal situation management. They first had a project there in Marikana where they got down to what type of standards they want to implement, and we use those standards, but we also wanted to see how we can actually enhance it and use it. So it's the abnormal situation management that was implemented. Like they say, it's a grayscale type SCADA, but it's actually not the grayscale. It makes you aware of abnormal situations. So it used color to draw attention to where it must be used, and that was what was used there. So and then the project was to replace the legacy type systems that they've got implemented there that inherently has some problems, cybersecurity type problems, as well as scalability type problems.
Security was a big aspect for you guys, eh? Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, cool. You maybe want to speak to some of the challenges you had experienced before in terms of latency, security.
We actually went through a big thing last year. And because of that, I think security actually tightened up a lot, on the ICT side.
Yeah.
So, I think the legacy products probably battle a lot with increased cyber security. And even with those extreme measures, Ignition could easily be implemented. I must say, going forward, since the project, we actually have gone forward to notifications on Telegram. We've got Teams, and then also we've got mobility, whereby our ICT team, even with the tough regulations, allowed, because of the architecture of Ignition, actually allowed us to take that web interface, to the outside, which was not really allowed in the past. So it was very much in line with the stricter security measures that was implemented.
Okay. So the requirements outside of ASM, some of the other requirements that you've noted here, Jacques, anything specific you want to go through?
Well, okay, so, offhand, they wanted an interface that's easy to use, easy to adopt by operators as well as technical personnel. It had to, at a glance, you must be, like I said, with the ASM, immediately be able to identify where a fault is happening. It was the cybersecurity that was the issue. And I mean, with the Ignition platform having some of the, it's world-leading cybersecurity adoption that it has in place. And I mean, we could leverage that together with their current IT strategies and policies that they have in place. It was just actually nice to see how everything there comes together.
Okay. And do you want to speak to the project timelines at all? October 2024 to December, is that a typo?
Yeah, that's actually, it's a little bit of PTSD, so I prefer not to.
I thought it was a typo. Okay.
But yes, it's
3 months.
It's 3 shafts, 10 compressors, it's all the templates, the whole architecture. Yeah, we were forced to finish that before end of December. Even though commissioning still happened this year, but we had to finish all of the templates, all of the development. It was due to their financial constraints or their capital constraints that they had.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you missed a Christmas with the family.
Yeah.
All right. I think the obvious challenge there is the timelines based on the 3 months. Some of the underlying infrastructure. Obviously, there were different types of hardware involved, different types of machinery involved. So different standards, essentially, that you had to create, but still standards that are universal and repeatable.
Yes, 100%. I have to say, offhand, what helped a lot is that they've got very good standards implemented in their PLCs. So, I mean, we could leverage that to build decent UDTs that fit onto that, and which also makes it then very easy to implement in the future if they have to scale going forward or implement something new.
Okay. Johan, Sibu, do you want to speak through some of the results? So ASM was a requirement. Now you have a high-performance ASM. What does that look like from a day-to-day point of view in terms of use as well as maintenance?
Yeah, the user friendliness, I think it's one of the goals that we are currently achieving. The operators work way better on the system. It's easy for them to see, what's going on. And I mean, it also has a psychological factor associated with when you see color, something is wrong, and then you are able to address that. And then other than the abnormal situation management challenge that we actually have addressed, it's for our compressor houses, which are at remote location. So the bigger challenge was network outages, where now we lose sight of the compressor and we even lose control. So the Ignition architecture has solved that problem for us by deploying edge gateways at local compressor houses with the ability for temporary buffering. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as network outages has been restored, and then synchronization happens, and we still get the data as if nothing happened. Yeah.
Okay. Makes your life a little bit easier from a support point of view.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the architecture. It's perhaps it seems a little bit overwhelming at first, but Jacques, do you want to talk us through the architecture?
Yeah. Okay. So hub and spoke type model. Mm-hmm. On the right-hand corner, you can see that they've got on the IT side of the firewall, they've got what they call the IT hub. So everything is aggregated into that system that's basically exposed to the internet, where they've got access via mobile or access via office to the different SCADA systems. As you can later on see in some of the video that is playing, that's typically where they will open up a map displaying all of the different gateways. They can see the gateway health. You can click on that, then you can go to the different SCADA systems. The SCADA systems that you'll see on the other side of the firewall, that's then segregated onto the 3 shafts as well as the services. On the services section, that's your 10 compressors. That's connecting to the edge gateways that's out in the fields. And you will also see that they've implemented a full redundant system.
Okay. Do you want to talk through these?
Yes, so basically, this is you actually do see some color here as, I think if you want a big challenge, you install a new SCADA within 3 months. But then if you want to make it really hard, you go for a grayscale or ASM SCADA, because, your legacy or your operators don't adopt that in a flash.
Yeah.
So, the color that you see on those previous screens was in an attempt to actually get them to see the similarities. That's the type of, let's call it candy, that we put in to get the people to start using this system. From an operator side, it's still a SCADA. They don't know whether it's running on a web or what's on the back end.
Correct.
So we sort of pushed rollout through that. And
So something is still a little bit familiar, not
Exactly.
not too unfamiliar.
And the thing is, the moment you get buy-in, you can actually go complete grayscale, because then they would realize that in this structure, the value that you actually get, there's physically no pop-ups. The moment something goes wrong, you get a highlight. On this screen now, there's currently no alarms going. But when you see color, you will probably see some around the device, something up. And on the tree view, you will also see these little alarms that will sort of breadcrumb you all the way to the particular screen. And you will, if you actually don't even train an operator, he would probably be able to guide himself, and you would ask him, where do you think is the problem? And he would actually just scroll through those, let's call it breadcrumbs. That's the best way of doing it. And then he will get to the screen, and then you ask him on the screen, what do you think is wrong? And then he would actually revert to the item that's basically flashing. There's definitely the value. And the moment they realize that value, I think that's when you can remove the other pieces of candy that you use for the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the breadcrumb, two interesting kind of design aspects: the breadcrumb following system, as well as the placeholder, the ability to select a tag and have it available on every screen. Was that an initial requirement, or something cool that you guys just wanted to put into the application?
Yeah, that was our flavor that we put into the menu system there on the left-hand side, yes.
Okay. Do you want to maybe explain that? Sorry.
Can I maybe add something quick? What you guys see on the screen now, that framework that you see with the layout at the bottom, that framework is actually quite an achievement that Concera built for us. If we actually go to any other site, we can implement this framework, and any other, you wouldn't even know it's the look and feel would be identical, because that framework is stuck, the alarm configuration is set, security is already built into it. So what you see will be similar looking on any of the other sites. And I think it's basically having that framework is quite important, because the framework, we've already fatted that is to our standard. So any new projects will be inside this framework, and it will actually very much comply to our standard.
And that obviously aids scalability. Hugely.
Obviously. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe another thing that I can add, we've actually tried the same framework on other SCADA packages. It worked, but I think with Ignition, it was even easier and better, to implement. So that's another thing that we've observed, comparing it with other competitors.
Okay. So the ease of use, you mean?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Perfect.
So something that I just want to draw focus to. So, immediately when you saw the compressor overview page, ASM is segregated into different levels, your level 1, 2, 3, 4. Level 1 being a high-level overview, being your one page that you should be able to monitor your whole site from just that page and be able to see if your site is healthy without delving into lower levels. So you've got your level 1 page, which shows everything. If an alarm occurs, you can immediately see it on the left top being activated according to the criticality, if it's a critical, a medium, a low type of alarm. Like they said in the menu structure, you can see the the breadcrumb. From there, you open up the view, which is called then your level 2 screen, level 2 and level 3 screen, based on your S95 type structure. And you'll also notice that there's no pop-ups anywhere. It's as soon as you choose something specific, your faceplates will open up at the bottom, giving you context for that specific piece of equipment. So while still maintaining a total view of your operation as is at that specific moment.
Very nice. Very, very nice. That's a long video. Was it everything or not?
Not.
Yeah, so I just delved through a few of the screens and
Didn't realize if it was sure if it was leaping or still continuing on. Cool. In terms of challenges, we spoke about the challenges, lessons learned. I know there was a few for you guys. It was your first ASM project on Ignition. So there was some, maybe we can start it off with you guys, and then from your perspective in terms of the human change management and getting people along and around the adoption, there were some lessons learned there as well. But for you guys, from a technical build point of view, any lessons learned?
so definitely, there's actually quite a lot. But so there were good implementations from the beginning where we segregated projects, where we've got a specific project just for ASM type standards, specific projects just for PLC standards that inherits everything, and then you go down to the base projects itself. And that's already a way to maintain your standard and a single source of standard, single source of the truth for how you want to move forward, which you can then use to implement, like I said, if you want to go on using that into future applications. But while building that, of course, there was a lot of lessons that we had to learn how to do things more efficiently. Like, if you can, try and stay away from, do less coding in the views, do it more in the tag provider, doing back-end type stuff instead of front-end type stuff. There was also lessons learned, of course, with, how can I say, the whole infrastructure, implementing the edges, syncing it up to the gateway, the different gateways communicating to each other. And as well as, while busy doing this, it sounds like a cliche, but it's just how awesome the product is while you're working with it, the capability that you have, the flexibility, the ease of use. It's
Okay, perfect.
Now, I want to just add that this is really what we realize is it's a true platform. You know, it's in the sense that when we wanted data that was on sites that was not yet where the project weren't running, and we needed data, so we just placed a gateway, create a gateway network, and you just move the tag provider to the side. You know, with a remote tag provider, and it's as if those tags are current. So people watching this don't even know that this tag is coming from a different site, and that actually, as I said, the fact that there's only one port involved. You know, for IT to open one port, they never had one issue with us opening communication between gateways, and we've got quite a wide network, and it was just quite simple to roll out. It's, as he says, it's quite an impressive, and
Well, your architecture was also built in such a way that it allows for that safe single connection. There was a fundamental design aspect of it. Yeah, fantastic.
I have to say one thing with the architecture, which is really a game changer, even though, it was released in 2015 or so, but EAM, the EAM module, just makes the management of this whole system so easy. Moving the projects around, developing in the right type of space, and it's populated to the different sites where it needs to be.
Yeah.
As well as to make sure that specific projects, like I mentioned previously, is maintained. If somebody goes and fiddles, it's going to be moved down there again.
Yeah.
And you're going to make sure that your standards are always maintained.
So EAM is the Enterprise Administration Module, which allows for that management of your multiple gateways. We had a similar, down in Cape Town, we had a similar architecture with MediClinic. So MediClinic, currently 50 facilities. They'll be pushing that out to over 200 facilities eventually. easy with 2 or 3 gateways. I think Kevin mentioned that this morning. When you get to the numbers of 50, 100, 200, the ability to do that without actually touching those remote gateways or edge gateways, that's pretty important. Yeah.
I must say that will definitely add value. It was like when they mentioned it, it said, that's exactly what we need. Because I think we're going to grow to quite a few gateways going forward.
Yeah, for sure. So, Sibu, this was a decision support kind of ASM type system. What are you guys currently working on? What's next for the application, this application or another application?
What we're working on, which myself and Johan are still busy with, is the local security. It's one of the developments because we've realized that with the AD security through ICT authentication, we started having challenges, and then we are now currently using local security rather, which makes it even more easier, and more resilient. And then another thing that I can say, which is a game changer on a business perspective, is the web services, being able to open your SCADA on your phone or any other device that has web services. That's a huge game changer. If I compare it with other SCADA systems that we have, where for us to achieve multiple viewing or multiple clients, we need to buy licenses, expensive licenses, but with this, the view only web services works very well for the guys, at the top. The managers and the engineers, and only give control to the operators. So that's also a game changer to us on a business perspective. Yeah.
Fantastic. Any closing thoughts? While we're all looking at these amazing screens, which I realize now is not on loop. Sorry about that. Any closing thoughts for you guys, Johan, Sibu?
Obviously, I think for people that's probably here that think about going Ignition, I think for your senior people, the costs will motivate that. And I said during the break to somebody that I think the 80% of the thing that's let's call it this product is cool, and the 80% what is cool is for the developer. I think we're like SCADA nerds. It's like becoming excited about something, and the development side, it's fantastic. On the operation side, and obviously the add-ons and the nice stuff that you can add on top to provide more value to I prefer to the decision makers. You can bring the data. The system allows you to bring the necessary data to the decision makers, I think, more efficiently. On your phone, on your Teams. I think a lot of people now are working from home on Teams. So if any crucial events come through on Teams, they see it, they're aware of things. So it's like, social media. People know about things before they almost happen. So, and that's what expected. That's the times in which we live. If you can't get to that, then obviously you're behind.
Yeah, timely information. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, we actually keep discovering features like Johan says. Now we are able to link it with Teams, and for any maybe alarms or any events, you can trigger that on Teams, and then you get that. And then whilst we were working with Concera, we also came up with a great idea for operators to put a link or a button there for training. So there's training videos that Concera has developed for us. All those videos resides in the server. Then whenever the operator has some time, he clicks on that button. He watches those videos for training, because this is still a new standard throughout the business. So part of the change management process is to train the operators, to be well equipped to use the product.
Very good from an adoption point of view.
Yeah.
Because you don't just want people to adopt it, you want them to also be excited about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Very good idea that. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, then just from our side, working with Sibanye and the team that they have, they've got a very high skill level. And yeah, the types of ideas that comes forth every single day, is always challenging. And I have to end off then with, like Johan ended the video, if you can dream it, you can do it, or you can build it. And that's something that I've really seen when they come up with these new challenges or new ideas. And yeah, you sit and think for a while, you go into Ignition and you definitely find a way to do it, whatever's needed.
Just got to pull the handbrake, manage those ideas, especially when people start sending through requests. No, fantastic. I think it's a beautiful application visually, but I think functionally, you guys have done an amazing job, Jacques and team, to build those functional aspects in. Yeah, very well done.